Hey, good evening, everybody, for a change. I'm here with Anonymous, and by popular demand in my comments, she is actually going to interview me today. A couple of people had asked about that, so she only agreed to do it if I didn't know what the questions would be. So she has full creative control over this segment, so I'm putting my trust into her. Hopefully she's not going to throw me under the bus or anything like that. We'll see. But anyway, here's a little interview with number 2 pencil. I'm about to get back on trail tomorrow morning, closing in on like mile 1500 pretty soon, 2/3 of the trail pretty soon, and trying to close out New York. And Anonymous is going to visit her friend tomorrow, so I was glad to get out of the heat for a day. That was super, super helpful. But yeah, Miss Chris is coming to pick me up tomorrow and take me back to trail, so we're going to do this little bit of interview for you. I don't know what she's going to ask. I'll do my best to answer. Y'all know me. I'm pretty much an open book, so hopefully y'all like this. If not, you can just turn it off now. Just tune into the next one for the trail video. So anyway, Anonymous, you want to go ahead and get us started here?
Sure. So, Mr. Pencil, for some of the newer viewers that are just picking things up watching your channel, can you just give us some background on your hometown and how and why you got to be on the AT?
And if you refer back to my episode 8, I kind of talked a good bit about this when I started my journey out here. But I'm from a small, tiny little town in Georgia. The population is like 12,000. I think it's like the same population that the county had in 1900, believe it or not. So really small, but I grew up there, basically lived all my life. Up until last year, worked, out of town usually, because most people do. There's not a lot of like jobs there. And then I started like a little online newspaper maybe 10 or 12 years ago, so I got involved in covering sports and news in the community and that kind of thing. So got a pretty good rapport with most people in the county, but not always. You're a news reporter, so you're going to have some enemies there too. But yes, anyway, long story short, last year, a couple years ago, I kind of got into walking about maybe 6 years ago. Lost a whole bunch of weight. I was weighing like 350 and got down to like 235, something like that. And just got really addicted to walking. Thanks to my friend Jenny. She's the one that made me go the first time. So basically I just got hooked on walking, but I was walking like the same basically 1 mile track like every day with a lot of the nice little people in town. We all kind of met there in the morning. So I got to watching YouTube, found a couple of YouTube videos, and decided I wanted to do the AT. And maybe it's my midlife crisis, I think, probably. That's pretty accurate. But anyway, I sold everything I owned, quit every job I was doing, just left the newspaper, everything, like basically everything just evaporated. And I decided to hike the AT this year. So here I am, almost 1,500 miles in. And it's been a journey. It's been a struggle at times. It's been awesome at times. But I don't think I would change anything at this point. And I'm looking forward to the rest of it. So that's roughly a little bit of my story.
And so, regarding kind of your timeline for Katahdin, what is your timeline for getting to Katahdin, and do you have any concerns on meeting that timeline?
I just want to get there before it closes, and yes, I'm concerned. I guess everybody is, because you never know. I think I'm fine to get there. It's basically like late July right now, and it doesn't typically close till mid-October. And I'm, like I said, almost 2/3 of the way through. I do have some tough hiking to go though, so I'm kind of picking up my pace right now and basically trying to spread this trip out as long as I can. When I originally came out here, I thought about maybe finishing like before now, but sitting here today, I'm so glad I didn't, because I've still got like a lot of journey to take part in and more things to see. And some of the people that are finished, they're at home or back at work and all those things. So anyway, yeah, I want to get there before it closes. And I hope to, but like I said, my concern is if like I fall and hurt an ankle or something and it takes me out for a few weeks, that could put me in trouble on that. So just trying to keep taking it step by step and avoid that if at all possible. So yeah, before it closes, that's my ultimate goal.
And when did you get your trail legs, and when did you get your hiker hunger? How far
hiker hunger, I don't still think I have hiker hunger. And I think that's more attributed when you start doing the bigger days. You kind of get that a little bit more maybe in town. But my first taste or glimpse of it was I had to get off trail in Gatlinburg at Newfound Gap when I was hiking the Smokies. And I had not intended to, because I'd been to Gatlinburg before and that was not on my itinerary. But I had taken enough food to basically go all the way through. But like day 3, day 4, I was really struggling to eat. That's kind of I always did early in the hike. And I think losing a lot of weight helped with that. But the day after, I had to basically shuttle into Newfound Gap on like my day 4 or 5 in the Smokies. And the next day, I ate like a maniac. Like, I ate so much food for breakfast. Like, I mean, I ate like probably 3,000 calories and didn't even notice I had eaten. Like, I didn't feel full. I didn't feel anything. So that was my first taste of it. So I don't think I just quote unquote have hiker hunger all the time. It's kind of the opposite. I struggle to eat when I'm on trail. But I mean, I've definitely had glimpses of it. Hiker legs, that's an interesting story because that's one of the things that did not make my blog. I kind of accidentally figured out I had hiking legs one day. It's kind of something like, wish I had my hiker legs. I wish I had my hiker legs. And I knew for a long time I didn't. I would say, you know, Georgia, Tennessee, North Carolina, and all those states, I felt like I was having to drag my legs up the trail with me rather than them kind of wanting to take part in the journey. So, but one day I can't even, it wasn't even like a really famous peak or a famous climb that everybody dreads or anything, but it was like a 1,500 foot climb, and I was out in the woods by myself. It was about the time I think I was hiking with Joe Mama and Grit and those guys. And I climbed up to the top of the mountain one day and just hadn't even really been thinking about it. I had my headphones on, which is the key. Like, I started listening to music, which was so helpful to my hiking. But this didn't get filmed, but I got super, super emotional at the top of that mountain because I got up to it and I realized on that peak that I had just climbed like 1,500 feet and had not stopped. And up until then, like, I had always been stopping several times on a big steep climb like that. So that's kind of when I figured out I think I had, kind of had hiker legs at that point. Like I said, I don't know if you just have them all the time, but yeah, it was amazing. And like a couple days after that, I was sitting in my tent and I thought something was wrong with me. I reached down to touch my leg, like on the outside, and I was like, I think that's swollen there. I think something's wrong with me. And I didn't know what it was, and I got to feeling. I was like, it was a muscle. Like, I don't think I'd ever had that muscle or knew that it was there before. It was on both sides. And I thought I was injured and like was swelling or something, but it was actually some new muscles I think I just developed in my legs. I mean, if you walk up and down mountains all the time. So, but yeah, I always thought that was just like my side butt maybe, but it was actually some new muscles I built. So I guess that was kind of hiker legs, I would say. So.
And I'm going to ask you 2 questions that you ask all of your interviewees.
Okay. Payback.
What's been your best day on trail?
My best day on trail, there's so many ways to answer that. Best days on the journey, best day on the trail, but I think I'm gonna still stick with the Grayson Highlands. That day was just like a perfect day. I think I said this in the little video for the young lady that I did a few months ago for the little Beaufort Middle School student, but it was definitely the Grayson Highlands because everything that day, I hiked good that day, the weather was perfect that day, the views were great that day, I met so many nice people, just the trail was beautiful. There was like a pony at the shelter, like right there where I was at, like it was just incredible. Like, there was nothing wrong with that day of hiking. Like, everything went well. My water filtered perfectly. Like, it was just like, it was awesome. So I still say I think that was probably my best day on trail.
What's been your most challenging day on trail? Your hardest day?
Most challenging and hardest, I mean, there's been a few. Oh my gosh, maybe last week, since that heat was brutal, but definitely I'd say in the Smokies, the day before, when I was talking about earlier when I had to shuttle off, the day before that, I had such a tough climb in the rain through Rocky Top. All my stuff had been wet, it had turned real cold, and I just struggled that night. I remember it was only about a 10-mile day, but I remember there's some nice, I think some kids from Pennsylvania that were there like section hiking or something. I'd met them earlier in the day, and like they saw that I was struggling that day so much that when I finally got to the shelter, they were there ahead of me, and like they actually clapped as I came up the hill. Like, they were just impressed that I was still alive, I think, because I was having a rough day that day. So I think that probably was my roughest day. It's hard to compete with that. Like I said, that day was basically followed up with me having to shuttle in, because I couldn't eat or anything. It was what I call the famous layer bar incident. Like, that morning I sat down, I was like, I got to eat something. I have no energy, and it was just a layer bar. And I could not eat it. It was like 200 calories, and I couldn't finish it. It was terrible. So yeah, I'd say that was definitely probably my worst day.
Have you had any romance on the trail?
Romance on the trail, oh my gosh, I don't believe in romance. Like, y'all that watch me every day and know me from my hometown kind of know that. I like to be single and free and happy. With that being said, I've met some awesome people on trail all around. But yeah, definitely, I would say definitely not romance. Like, a lot of great friendships I've made and met a lot of great people like that. So you know, no romance to speak of, I would say, per se. You know.
If you could wave a wand and solve one gear trade-off, what would it be on one piece of gear that has a trade-off?
Can you expound on that more? What do you mean?
Like, for example, your ultralight tent is super light, but
Yeah.
you have condensation issues because it's single wall.
Yeah, true that. I mean, that might be one to look at because it. No, I think for me the most mundane, boring, awful thing I have to do out here is filter water. If I had an easier way to do that, and I got to be free. Like, it's not hard to do, but it's just so mundane. I guess we take tap water basically for granted. But I will say, like, these last few weeks where there's been no water, like, I've appreciated having to filter it and having some to filter. So, but yeah, a better way to treat my water and more efficiently and easier, I think would be good. And I've thought about changing, but I'm so far through the hike now. I'm gonna keep going with the Be Free. So as a matter of fact, I'm trying to clean it right now with another guy's YouTube I saw. But I was trying to see if I can fix it up. If not, I'm just gonna replace the filter. It's just one of those. It's like worth replacing it because it saves you so much time and energy. So yeah, I would say water filter is something I would like to see. Something that I could improve on maybe.
Two questions regarding favorites.
Okay, I'm good with favorites. I like that.
Favorite shuttle driver?
Favorite shuttle driver? Oh my God, that's putting me in the spot because they have all been amazing. Oh my gosh, I can't pick one. How about I'll eliminate maybe the hostels because that's kind of part of their business and like purely from a shuttle driver standpoint. I mean, they're all so entertaining. Y'all saw Josie last week, like Nate from back in the day, Bobby the Greek. I really like Bobby the Greek. He was like kind of Michelle though. She brought me to the trail. I don't know if I could pick one. Let me think. If I had to pick a favorite, it's probably gonna be Bobby the Greek. Mainly because that dude came and got me like 10 o'clock at night when I really, really needed to get off trail. Back in Georgia, and it was early in the hike when I didn't know what I was doing. And I was like, "Hey man, you think you can get me?" And he's like, "Yeah, if you're willing to wait." And I was like, "Yeah, I'll wait." So that was my biggest day of that, my first 20-mile day. And Bobby came and got me. He took me to the hotel. I didn't even call a hotel. I just called him, and he kind of gave me. I will say this about shuttle drivers: a lot of people try to figure out where they're going on trail and then call a shuttle driver to get them there. Really, a better move, I think, is to find you a shuttle driver and ask them. Say, "Look, here's where I'm at. Where's a good place I can go for a reasonable price and all that." And they'll hook you up. But yeah, Bobby the Greek, that's my dude right there.
And favorite hostel?
She's killing me with these. Favorite hostel. I mean, they've all been so great. That is a tough choice. Like, it's not like A, B, and C. It's like 1A, 2A, 2.3A, 2.6A. But, gosh, can I think about that for a second?
Mm-hmm.
Can I insert some Jeopardy music in here?
Would you like me to guess you another question?
Favorite hostel stay? Yeah, let's come back to that one.
Pass.
We'll come back. Pass, yes, pass.
Okay.
And pass in a good way because there's too many good answers, not because I can't think of a good answer. So.
Last question is there anything that you would change about your hike thus far?
No, I don't think so because like any one thing you change changes every single thing after that. So like if I hiked away from these people, I wouldn't have met these people. Or if I would have stayed out in this storm, this wouldn't have happened. Or if I would have ate at this place, I mean, it's kind of frustrating because every tiny little decision you make affects the rest of your hike. I've thought of that so many times. Like if you decide to go to Amicalola and start at 1 p.m. on Saturday as opposed to 10 a.m. on Saturday, it can legitimately change the entire course of your hike. So I wouldn't change anything. I'm still here and I'm still on trail. So I think, I'm not greedy. I'm happy with the way it's gone and just hoping to get the rest of the way there. Yeah, definitely I would not change anything at all.
Awesome. Thank you for answering all the questions.
All right, so back to the hostel question. Do I need to still answer that one?
Yep.
It's hard to beat around the bend, folks. And so, again, like I said, it kind of resonates a little more because I was in such a bad kind of way when I was there. But yeah, I loved around the bend. Super Bowl Sunday, y'all know where we all sat there and didn't watch the Super Bowl and watched Caitlin goes hiking. But that was a great day. And like I said, the next day, Gordon took me to trail, and I thought I lost my water bottle, and then realized I didn't even know it. Lisa pulls up right behind him with my water bottle, my electronics bag, my selfie stick, like my Garmin. Like I had left so much stuff there just because I was like having hiker brain or something, was dehydrated, just wasn't doing well. So they really took care of me there. They made me eat pizza before I left that day, just like my grandma would. But so it's been great. I mean, both animals were great. All the Triple Crown hostels were great. Like I can't say anything bad about any hostel I've stayed at. They've all been really, really good experiences. So yeah, no denying that.
Last question.
All right, bonus question. Here we go.
Bonus question. What has been your favorite comment by a subscriber?
My
Or
favorite.
made you laugh out loud?
My favorite comment by a subscriber that made me laugh out loud. Are you trying to reference me to one? Because I'm thinking there's been so
No.
many. Oh my gosh. They are, I mean, honestly, like some of the mean ones kind of make me laugh out loud. And there's not that many of them, but they kind of stand out. But, probably my favorite one, and one that resonated, happened just a few days ago when I did my little gear video. And this guy was like, "Hey, Mr. Pencil, why are you still carrying so much spit around?" And I was like, you know what, he's right. I probably should be looking at my stuff. And I'm doing that right now, as a matter of fact. So that's my, yeah, I did kind of laugh out loud at that. Anyway, and I'm trying to do better. By the time I get to Great Barrington, I'm going to be like a through hiker with like just a couple of shirts instead of like 8. So I'm still struggling with my hiking shirt scenario. I'm about to get some scissors here at this hotel, and we're going to get there one day. We're going to have just like one shirt to hike in. All right, is that it? All right, Anonymous says that's it. So appreciate y'all watching. Just a few questions from number 2 Pencil. Appreciate, like I said, appreciate everything. The hike's going good so far. Get back on trail tomorrow. I think that's about it. Thanks to everybody that's like sent Venmos and stuff to me to support me. If you do want to like send a donation, not a donation, I'm not a charity, but like if you want to send some trail magic, I'll put my Venmo right here. It's just at the Herd Hiker. But yeah, thanks to everybody. Miss Carol Thomas especially, that's bought me Big Sur bars and bought Anonymous Big Sur bars. Everybody, several of you also made donations or sent me trail magic on my birthday, and that's like right before I kicked my phone off the cliff. So I wasn't able to thank y'all because I didn't get the notifications during that time, but especially thank y'all for that. So that's very helpful and much appreciated. So just it's been a wonderful ride out here. So thank y'all for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Good luck to Anonymous as she goes to visit with her friend, and I will see her somewhere else down the trail. We never know where, somewhere, but I'll see her again. So peace out. Y'all have a good one.